Hello once again, my name's Ryan from Reddit Voice, and today we're going to be looking at some of the #1 stories from r/EntitledParents. Before we do that though, I'd really appreciate it if you could hit that subscribe button and that notification bell to stay up to date on all the latest videos. Give me ice cream. We don't have any. I don't care. Hello, dear reader. I'm writing from a phone and English isn't my first language, so bear with me and let's go. A little backstory. This story is happening during the lockdown. In 3 p.m., the day starts with a total lockdown. It will be important. It'll be forbidden to go outside. Like you get arrested level forbidden. The story happens in Europe. I won't say where. Story happens in a local Russian store and there aren't a lot of in the area, so it's Russia. I went to the store to buy some sunflower seeds before the lockdown. And well, here's the story actually starts. I came into the store and bought what I wanted. When I came out, it was 2:45 p.m. I barely managed to come out at time. The store is literally closing behind me, and I happily come out of it and whistle something. Here comes the EM. Cast. E, story employee. Me. EM, entitled mommy. EK, something like 5-year-old kid. As I come out of the store, I hear a loud voice yelling. EM. Who do you think you are, you son of a... untranslatable curse. E, kind of afraid. Please go away, we're closed. Give my son the effing ice cream. Mommy, ice cream. Fine, get in, but fast please. In 5 minutes I must go home. I decided to stay to see what happens. I want strawberry ice cream. Where the heck is the strawberry one? Sadly, we're out of stock. We don't have any more left. I don't care. Give me the ice cream. I don't know why she's a demon from hell, but here you go, guys. I'm just laughing at this point. And you, why are you laughing? Sorry? I demand a refund. Roughly $200 will be fine. Me and E? What? Note that the ice cream was roughly $5. Okay, get out. Shocked? What? Get out. Didn't you hear him? Get the heck away. EM just quietly comes out of the store looking like she's going to throw a tantrum right now. But get the F out of here. She leaves and me and E are just laughing at this. A mother and child try to steal my dog. So for some backstory, I have a dog named Archie. We've had him since last summer and have loved him ever since. For people asking for pictures of him, I think there's one on Reddit somewhere. Anyways, I took him out for a walk into the forest near my house like I usually do. The walk went as usual up until we were on our way back home, and we had just reached our neighbor's fence when I heard a scream and running behind us. It was, as I'm guessing, a 5-year-old boy running towards us, her mother behind him. I've gotten used to this type of reaction while walking Archie. He's a white West Siberian Laika, so people like seeing him and gasping. Isn't really anything special to me. But this felt different. Here comes the following conversation. K, what's his name? Me, his name's Archie. You may pet him, he doesn't hurt you. EM, hello, what a nice dog you got. What breed is he? Me, thanks, he's a West Siberian Laika. EM, are you sure he's a Laika? Looks like a Samoyed to me. Me, they do look similar, but Samoyeds have thicker fur. EM, look, kid, I'm older than you and I know more about everything than you do. He's a Samoyed. I bet you don't feed him properly and that's why he's so skinny. Me, searches images of Siberian Laikas and compares them to Samoyeds. They look different. I kneel down to talk to the kid. Hey kid, me and Archie are gonna go home now. If you want to see him again, he is in the yard a lot every single day. Okay, bye Archie. By the way, the kid was the cutest 5-year-old I've ever seen. So we had gotten back home and I was casually relaxing indoors, and I let Archie outside because my mom was in the backyard. Sometime later, my mom came inside, leaving Archie outside. A couple minutes passed and I hear Archie barking and similar sounding voices outside. Archie barks all the time when someone walks past, but what made me look outside were the voices. It was the kid again, patting Archie, but I couldn't see the kid's mother, who I assumed was the other voice. I walk outside the front door to see the mother opening our front gate to let Archie out. I rushed over to talk to her. What are you doing? You're mistreating your dog. I'm letting him free. We saved that dog from a man who beat him with a metal pipe. Stop what you are doing or I'll call the cops. Because the front gate opens inward, I just leaned on it so she couldn't open it. The EM literally grabbed me from my jacket and punched me straight in my face. I fell down to the ground, which allowed her just to push the gate open. Then she asked the kid to come over to her. Archie, of course, followed the kid. Then, just like in a movie, my neighbor, who had seen everything, happened to walk up to us, wearing a leather jacket, sunglasses, and holding a replica lever-action shotgun. He looked like a freaking Terminator. He quickly told the mother to get back and got Archie back in my yard. The EM was frozen in place. Meanwhile, her son didn't even care and was petting Archie again. My mom had already called the cops when she noticed that some stranger was trying to steal Archie, so the waiting didn't take long. After some civilized talking, EM was accused of attacking me, entering private property and trying to steal Archie, and attacking a police officer when she tried tears face off when she was asked to get off in the police car. Too long didn't read. EM and I argue about the breed of my dog, then tries to steal said dog because we're mistreating him. Entitled Parents versus Firefighters. Another story from several years ago. Another bushfire, another community at risk. The plan is simple. Start a backburn along the back fences of the community to create a fire break and to contain the fire. The wind is blowing towards the community, so the backburn will be going against the wind. Good conditions. We start lighting up the bush. 90% of the residents pit up with the smoke and either close the windows and doors or come up and talk us over the fence asking if they can do anything. Now I will take this time to mention that we wear full-face respirators to protect our lungs from the smoke. We can barely talk out of them, and when you are next to a running pump, you can barely hear anything. So backstory. We're walking along and pause at a house to monitor the burn. This was quite a fuel load, so we don't want to make sure it's burnt. Didn't notice anything until we see a resident trying to use our second hose line. What? A quick discussion ensures this mother had come out to inform us that the smoke was affecting her kid. Okay, this happens. So what? She had come out to demand that we put out the fire we are lighting, and when we ignored her, she then decided to do it herself. A quick apology. It's noisy. We didn't hear you. She's understanding but still insists that we put out the fire or give her kid one of our masks. No, I'm not going to affect my health for your kid. Also, he hasn't done the course. We advise her to close the windows and doors, but we're going to burn to protect her house. This is where she demanded to see our commander, who at this point in time is hiding in the cab. He gets out, walks up to her, and issues an on-the-spot fine for obstruction of an emergency service. Let's just say for a while after the incident, the bush behind her property was burnt quite regularly. After all, we have to reduce the hazard to the community. Your little brother deserves your room, so you can move into the playroom. Oh, by the way, you don't get a door. Everyone seemed to get a kick out of reading how horrible my father and stepmother were. This one is fresh on my brain, so I'm going to put it here where I'll be able to remember. Someone wanted to know another table. So here it is. Obligatory, this was paraphrased with my mother having filled in some of the blanks as I've blocked out a lot of this from time in my life. This happened after I'd no longer been able to go to therapy. Right before the summer, and due to all of this and more, I was going to end up having to repeat my junior year. It was 2 months before school would let out, and there was no way I could get my grades up to stay in the honor program I was in for high school. Because of this, my stepmother had decided to approach me about my room. You see, a little backstory, my father and stepmother had trouble getting pregnant a few times. My brother was a miracle baby, and they'd wanted another after her. They tried hard, for even years, to conceive my little sister. Because they were trying, they moved from the small house they had, for the 4 of us, to a slightly bigger one. It was at this time that they started trying for my sister. Fast forward to me being 17, about to fail due to their abuse and other similar factors. In my state, siblings of the opposite gender can share a room up until a similar age. After that, it's considered illegal. My brother had reached that age and thus couldn't share a room with my sister any longer. This is where I come in. I had my own room. When we first moved in, they took me shopping to IKEA and let me pick out my own room worth of furniture. Bed, dresser, side table, air cushion, even painted my room to suit my room theme. That being said, my stepmother decided that my brother needed a room. She told me that since I was failing my junior year and would be graduating a year late, that I could move into the playroom and get a job and start paying rent, since I would be 18 when the next school year began. Normally, this wouldn't be such a bad setup. The playroom's huge and it had lots of space, and to some, she had a point. I didn't answer her because I didn't know what to think. My stepmother calls me my mother over one day to sit down with me and talk about me failing, how I was going to end up just like my mother, by going from man to man and working a minimum wage job, and to pressure me into giving up my room. Eventually, I gave in. However, this is where the catch comes in. The playroom was still my brother and sister's playroom. Their toys would still be there. They could go in and out as they'd liked. This meant constantly they would go through my stuff. It wasn't really my room. In addition, there was no door. And with the way the playroom was set up, as an addition to the house added on by the previous owners, there were large windows that had never been removed that look into the playroom from the kitchen. I had no privacy. If I wanted privacy, I had to get a job to pay for my own curtains and my own door if I wanted that. It was supposed to teach me responsibility of being an adult, since I was failing a grade and therefore couldn't go to college like that. Their reasoning was that they were gonna convert it into an area for me if I went to college, but since I'd failed a grade, they decided I could pay for it and be an adult. Later that summer, I was kicked out because my stepmother told me she resented me. Well, that about does it for today's episode of r/EntitledParents. Did you like it? Make sure to check out some of our other stuff and maybe even subscribe. As always, my name's Ryan from Reddit Voice, and I look forward to seeing you guys in our next video. Bye-bye, everybody.